Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. The name is CeeChronicles. Thank you so much for joining me today. My content is mostly fragrance reviews, fashion and lifestyle videos. So if that sounds like something you're interested in and you're here for the first time, or you're a returning viewer, you're a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. I would appreciate you joining the family and I would appreciate the growth. So thank you so much. I also want to say thank you to my returning subscribers for always coming here and supporting this channel. I do not take your patronage for granted. Okay, I am here with a fragrance review video for you. Okay, I'm going to be talking about LaMuse again. If you saw my vlog, I did show you the fragrances that I intended to bring here for reviews, because I did do a haul in that vlog. So if you did watch my vlog, you would have noticed that I did show you this one as well. So this is what I'm going to be talking about today. LaMuse Affair. This is the packaging. A quick one. If you come to the comment section and make a request, okay, to all those who make a request, I always try to answer everybody, you know, as much as I can. Now, I do get a couple of requests in between. If you have a personal request or you've suggested a video and I've told you that I'm going to do it, I will do it. It's just that most of my videos are pre-recorded, okay? So I do record sometimes for the whole month. So, you know, if you keep looking up for your video and it's not coming, don't worry. It's just a matter of time. When I do my next, you know, recording, I will consider, or I will actually include some of the videos. Okay, so now back to this. I'm talking about LaMuse Affair, and this is the packaging. Okay, LaMuse Affair, and this is the packaging. Okay, this is also a clone house. I try as much as possible to bring you as many inspired by you know, fragrances as possible, because a lot of the people that come on this channel actually like you know, affordable fragrances. And this is the actual fragrance. Okay, so I've obviously opened it and this is the packaging. Okay, it's artistic. It looks like you know, like it actually looks like realistic art just looking at the bottle. I don't think the camera is doing much justice to it though. Okay, and this is the actual fragrance. Okay, so this is what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to spray it on this on the actual card, on the actual box, because I'm already wearing my fragrance of the day. Pardon me for that noise. Okay, so I'm going to spray it here. So we're talking about LaMuse Affair. LaMuse Affair. Okay. And this the fragrance in question is called Affair, and the fragrance company is called LaMuse. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, I've sprayed it. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I perceived. The top of this fragrance has got a lot of fruitiness going on there. Okay, it's got some peach, some apricot, it's got strawberries, some ylang ylang, which comes across as fruity as well, because ylang ylang gives off a creamy fruitiness. It's got some hyacinth there, and it's got some galbanum. Okay, that is at the top. So, you know, it is really fruity at the top, and then in the mid there's the rose and the jasmine. Unfortunately, I struggle to get the rose in this one. Okay, I will explain as we go. And then in the base, it's got the sandalwood, the ember, the cedar, and the musk. Now, what you expect in the first burst, if you wear this for the very first time and you spray it, it's going to give you fresh vibes, spicy vibe, fruity floralness, okay, and with a touch of green and a slight, very slight woodiness. That is what you expect in the opening of this fragrance as you spray it. Okay, now I did mention that it's very fruity, but don't forget that in that top again there's some hyacinth and you know, some galbanum. Okay, and that hyacinth gives off the hyacinth and the galbanum gives off like a sharp, piercing green feel. Okay, but let me say it's not overly green, but it does give like a really green feel, and this is persistent throughout the entire way of this fragrance. So you are going to get that sharp green, thick, concentrated feel of it from start to finish. Okay, now, and then it goes into like a semi-sweet nectarine kind of feel, you know, because of that juicy peach and apricot. You will feel that nectar there. Okay, and then the peach and the apricot again mixing with that ylang ylang also gives off an almost like tonic vibe, but I wouldn't say this is strictly lactonic. It just gives off, you know, like a lactonic crossing over to powdery vibe. Okay, so that is in the mid, and this fragrance will not transition a lot for you know, like for those that are new in fragrances, or those that don't care about the notes and they just want to know how a fragrance smells like. This doesn't transition a lot from the opening to the end. Okay, and I think I can attribute that to the hyacinth. It's very present in here, you know, carried with that galbanum, and then mixing with those juicy fruit fruits. Okay, there is a strawberry here listed, but the strawberry just seems buried. What I get the most is the peach and the apricot. Okay, and then there's the jasmine there in the mid. Okay, the jasmine takes it on to like a soapy kind of direction, just a slight soapiness there. Okay, and that soapy twist, you know, it's not too overpowering, it's not too much, because this fragrance still remains thick. Okay, but you will get some people saying, okay, it does feel a lot soapy. Okay, but it just still maintains that thick vibe of it. It's not like it's got a lot of depth. Okay, and because this is a dupe, I'd like to think that the original of whatever this fragrance is duping is going to be so concentrated, because it's just borderline, you know, almost crossing over to, if it was done so much, it could be headache inducing for me. Okay, and I'm saying this based off the fact that it is a clone. Okay, so because most of these clones that are done by budget houses tend to be a bit on the subtle side, I still feel, you know, that kind of you know, that kind of, you know, if they'd pushed it a little bit, it would be on the you know, like on the headache inducing side. But I don't actually get to the headache inducing bit here, because like I said, it is a bit on the, it's in as much as it's thick. Okay, it just stays in check. All right, yeah. And then it starts to feel, you know, it starts to give off wafts of like a luxurious detergent. Okay, you will kind of be reminded of some detergent that you've used before, but it's not like a harsh detergent. Okay, trying to think of what example I can give you. Okay, there's that jasmine giving it the soapiness, and then that slight detergent feel, okay, in this fragrance. Or maybe let me give another example. Okay, what it then develops into, it then feels as though it's like a scented lipstick. Okay, like say for instance, if you were in a lipstick warehouse where they actually make the lipsticks and there were loads of them, this would be like the scent around that area. Okay, or if you take your lipstick at home. Okay, let me see, I've got a lipstick here. Let me see if this is gonna give off, but this is probably not gonna give off, because yeah, it does actually give off like a lipsticky vibe, but very concentrated. Okay, very concentrated. So it doesn't end up being like a plasticky lightweight thing. No, it is a heavyweight in its lipstickiness. Okay, it's not plasticky. Okay, so it's still thick. Okay, yeah, and very luxurious. Whatever this thing is, whatever, you know, this hyacinth and the galbanum, the way it's presenting here, it's in a luxurious manner. Okay, to a point that this, in as much as I said it's fruity, doesn't turn into like a tropical fruity, been there, done that. No, still gives you that sophistication. In as much as it's floral, you can't call it a floral. Okay, like a strict floral. I wouldn't say, oh, for the floral lovers, here we go. No, it's just everything there is in this beauty, but coming off as like a vintagey, you know, like a lipsticky, even powders, you know, like if you want somebody's vanity and there was minus that perfume, they're like the traditional perfume, but you were actually smelling just makeup. It kind of feels like that. That is what it reminds me of, and I think that is what I can give you as the most closest, okay, to of what I'm getting here. Okay, it's also fresh but very concentrated, like I said in you know, in the beginning, and it does have a little bit of powderiness. Okay, but and that would be obviously because of the musk. It does give off like it's just a slight powderiness. Okay, but honestly, the powderiness here doesn't even bother me as well, but it does give off like wafts of like powderiness there to it, something talky, you know, coming across in there. Okay, and then again, the choice of the sandalwood in the base, I believe, makes this fragrance really sturdy, really rich, really deep. Okay, so not only is the hyacinth and the galbanum, as well as those other florals and fruits mixing there, but it's the sandalwood that actually just gives it that sturdiness and that deep feel to it, to a point where it is wearable for me, because it is an inspired by version. But whatever this is cloning is obviously going to be so concentrated. Okay, because for the price, I'd like to think that this is a bit on the diluted side. Okay, so yeah, it is a beautiful, almost powdery green fragrance. Okay, that doesn't feel tropical. Again, it doesn't feel gourmandish. It does feel fruity. Okay, and it's not a distinct floral. So it's everything you get there. Okay, so if you're a person that doesn't like florals, you can certainly buy this one, because it does have florals, but it doesn't turn into a traditional floral. It does have the fruits, but it doesn't turn into like a fruity cocktail kind of vibe. Okay, so that is definitely what I get. Okay. Yeah, so it is really beautiful and powdery, and everything in here ties up together to give you that makeup kind of lipsticky thing going on there. Okay, now in terms of what this is duping, this is quite obvious to people that have come across Versace's Romance. Okay, Versace is also a Middle Eastern house. It's also a Middle Eastern fragrance house. Okay, and this particular LaMuse, they've copied the box, they've copied everything. Okay, so Versace also dupes some fragrances, and I think by now it's now common knowledge that these fragrance houses actually dupe each other. Okay, so I do get it. Some people do have a problem with that, but at the end of the day, if you notice, even the high-end fragrance houses, if you purchase most of their fragrances, they've obviously maybe been inspired by a certain fragrance, or they take a certain fragrance and they just give it a little twist. Okay, so this is inspired by Versace's Romance. Okay, and now if you want me to give you a Middle Eastern, or rather a Western fragrance that is kind of on the same vibe, I would say it's the discontinued Dio Poison Tendre. Okay, the Dio Poison Tendre. So if you're one of those people that liked the Dio Poison, you're going to get a bit of some similarities in here. It's going to remind you of Dio Poison, the Tendre one. Okay, the green one, and that it has been discontinued. So this would be a good alternative. Okay, or if you wanted to try Versace's Romance, you can get a hold of this one. It will give you a representation of about 80 to 85% of how that particular fragrance smells like. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've been here with a fragrance review video, and I was talking about this particular one, okay, LaMuse, and the fragrance is called Affair. I hope you did find this video useful. Do not forget to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, why not? Okay, please do consider subscribing. I'd appreciate you doing that. Also, turn on post notifications, that way you are notified anytime I upload a video. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.